Welcome to AI Brief. I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah.
Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, some really fascinating AI developments based on the sources you shared.
That's right. We're aiming to pull out the key insights. We've got AI predicting cancer survival from photos, which is quite something.
Yeah, and a new AI approach that sort of mimics how the brain thinks over time.
Plus, a new benchmark for evaluating AI in healthcare chats. And of course, other news and some trending tools.
Tools to maybe boost your productivity. So let's start with that first one, the healthcare angle.
Okay, so researchers at Mass General Brigham, they've developed this AI called FaceAge.
FaceAge, and it estimates biological age from just a photo.
Exactly. Not your calendar age, but, how old your body appears biologically, maybe at a cellular level.
And they trained it on a huge number of images.
Tens of thousands. And the study found something pretty interesting. Cancer patients, on average, looked biologically about 5 years older than their actual age.
Wow. And here's the really compelling part, right? A higher FaceAge score.
Was linked to worse survival rates, lower survival, yeah.
And it wasn't just a correlation. When doctors actually used these FaceAge risk scores along with their usual clinical data,
Their predictions for 6-month survival actually improved.
that suggests it's capturing something real about the aging process, doesn't it?
It seems so. The AI predictions even correlated with a specific gene we know is linked to cellular aging, so it's potentially looking beyond just chronological time.
So the idea is maybe facial features could become like actionable biomarkers, helping personalize treatments.
That seems to be the potential future, yeah. Using the face as another data point for cancer care.
Fascinating. Okay, so moving on from that, Sakana AI, they're taking a pretty different approach.
Completely different. They've introduced something called continuous thought machines, or CTMs.
Continuous thought machines.
Uh-huh.
So the idea isn't an instant answer.
Exactly. It's about building AI that considers the process over time, kind of like our brains don't just instantly compute. There's an unfolding of activity.
Right, like how the timing of neuron activation is crucial for intelligence in the brain.
Precisely. They're trying to mimic that temporal aspect. Sakana showed some demos like CTMs visibly tracing paths to solve mazes.
So you could almost see its internal process working.
Kind of. Or for image recognition, they might focus processing effort on the harder parts of an image.
Interesting. So this nature-inspired approach, it's aiming for AI that's maybe more flexible, more adaptable.
That's the goal, yeah. AI that reasons and learns in a way that might feel a bit more, well, human-like in its process.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. OpenAI's HealthBench. This sounds important for healthcare AI.
It definitely is. It's essentially a benchmark, a standardized test, but it was created with input from, I think, over 260 physicians.
And its purpose is to evaluate how well AI models perform in, like, health conversations.
Exactly. It tests them on various themes, emergency referrals, global health topics, and also specific behaviors like accuracy and the quality of communication.
And what are the initial findings? Are the newer models better?
Significantly better, it seems. The report mentioned their latest model, O3, scored around 60%, whereas GPT 3.5 Turbo was way down at 16%.
That's a massive jump.
It really is. And another interesting point is that smaller models are getting really capable. GPT 4.1 Nano apparently outperformed older, much larger models.
And it's cheaper to run, which is always a factor.
Definitely. Crucially, OpenAI has open-sourced the benchmark itself and a data set of about 5,000 realistic health conversations.
So others can use it and build on it. Having these physician-validated benchmarks seems vital if we're going to deploy AI safely in healthcare.
Absolutely. Measuring effectiveness and safety is key.
And one more quick update before the broader news. Manus AI.
Ah, yes, Manus AI, butterfly effect. It's been getting some buzz compared often to OpenAI's latest stuff. The news is it's now publicly available.
So no more waitlist.
Apparently not. You can sign up now. There are some free daily tasks and then subscription options if you need more access.
Good to know. Okay, let's broaden out a bit. What else is happening in the AI space?
Well, Google DeepMind launched the AI Futures Fund. It's basically an initiative to help AI startups.
How so? Giving them early access to models.
Yeah, early access, plus funding and expertise from Google DeepMind itself.
Feels like a significant boost for those startups.
Yeah.
What about SoftBank and OpenAI?
That big $100 billion investment in the Stargate project, there are reports it might face delays.
Delays. Why?
Seems to be concerns around U.S. tariffs and also just the rising costs of building those massive data centers needed.
Right, the infrastructure costs are huge. Any other funding news?
Perplexity is reportedly raising another $500 million. which would push its valuation way up to maybe $14 billion.
Wow, okay. And something a bit more fun, Lego GPT.
Yeah, researchers at Carnegie Mellon developed this. You give it a text prompt.
And it generates instructions to build something stable out of Legos.
That's the idea. Pretty neat.
Definitely. What about on the national level? Saudi Arabia?
They've launched a major AI venture called Humane. It's led by the Crown Prince, and the goal is clearly to make Saudi Arabia a regional AI powerhouse.
Interesting. And speaking of governments, the US FDA.
They're planning a big AI push. They want to implement AI across the agency by the end of June.
Why the push? Did they see benefits already?
Yeah, apparently a pilot program showed AI significantly cut down the time needed for certain tasks.
The efficiency gains. Makes sense. What else?
OpenAI subscribers can now export those deep research reports as PDFs.
Oh, with formatting and citations intact, that's useful for researchers.
Yeah, formatted tables, images, link citations, all that. And just circling back to Saudi Arabia's Humane.
Right, they're using their public investment fund.
Exactly, to build data centers and develop Arabic large language models specifically. There's also talk of them getting access to advanced NVIDIA chips.
So serious investment there. And finally, Meta.
They released the weights for an experimental LLM. It uses a byte-based architecture.
Byte-based instead of token-based. Why does that matter?
The aim is for better efficiency compared to the more traditional token models. Still experimental, though.
Got it. Okay, lots happened. Let's wrap up with some of those trending AI tools you mentioned.
Sure. First is Hunyuan Custom. This one lets you generate custom videos, but with consistent subjects or characters.
Like you could create personalized video messages or maybe marketing content with a specific look.
That's the idea, yeah. Then there's Granola for iOS. It's an AI notepad specifically for people in back-to-back meetings.
To quickly capture notes and action items without losing track. Sounds handy.
Could be. For developers, there are a couple of tools. Deep Research connects GitHub repos to OpenAI's Research Agent for code analysis.
And Deerflow.
That's ByteDance's open source tool, also for deep research and code analysis, so options there.
Okay, what about team workflows?
Mendel is focused on that. Automating code reviews, optimizing workflows, tracking team performance, improving deployment efficiency with AI.
Aimed at making software teams more productive.
And for job seekers.
There's Sevium. It uses AI to instantly match you with jobs and gives you analytics on how good the match is. Could streamline the job search quite a bit. What about calendar management? Always a pain point.
Clockwise is an AI assistant for that. Cleans up your calendar, helps schedule team meetings, creates focused time blocks.
Anything for presentations.
DeckSpeed. It claims to create professional, personalized slides just from conversations without needing templates.
Turn a meeting discussion into a deck quickly. Interesting. And last one.
LMRefs. This one is about AI SEO, tracking keyword rankings and optimizing how a brand performs in AI-driven search results.
Which is becoming increasingly important. Okay, that's quite a list.
Definitely a lot to keep track of. That really brings us to the end of this deep dive into the latest AI developments.
We hope breaking down all this information gave you some valuable insights into where things are heading.
If you found this useful and want to keep up with this, well, rapidly evolving field,
please do follow AI Brief and maybe share it with others you think might be interested in the world of artificial intelligence.